Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I know that this is a very deeply concerning time for many people, and this is what prompted us to initiate this opportunity of writing letters and responding to them by a video. So welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. Everyone's attention is on this period of the spread or the pandemic called coronavirus. Now, I don't want to be addressing what we should do at a medical level now, because I feel that we have all been given enough guidance from the governments, from the experts, from the caring staff, the many nurses, doctors, as I said before, and the care workers all over the world. So many wonderful beings have stepped forward at risk to their own health to help those who are in deep need. So thank you so much from our hearts. I feel I can speak for millions of beings throughout the world in saying gratitude to you, bless you, thank you with all our hearts. Today I'm going to read some of the letters that's been coming in, and I hope that they will serve somehow in whichever way that service is required, but to at least alleviate some of the burden of stress and worry and fear and so on that is equally as widespread, if not more, I would say far more, than the actual virus itself. Thank you for your blessings, thank you for your letters, thank you for your attention, thank you for presence, and let's get started. Well, first of all, I have to say that a beautiful group of people have come together to look through the very many emails that were sent in, the letters that came, and they selected a number of letters that they felt would be good for me to look at. I have not looked through them. They're not organized, for me at least, in any particular order, so I'll just pick them up as we go. Okay, first one. The first one, it says, I love you. Beautiful, beautiful start. I am with you, and you are with me in everything and nothing. I am a wave in your ocean. My prayer is to merge completely in I-self and to get rid of arrogance and ignorance within this house. Thank you for everything. Love you, Mishko. Thank you. Well, first of all, I have to say that these letters were sent from us as an invitation, primarily not to the open space of YouTube, but to, first of all, to the subscribers and people who have been watching my videos over the years. Particularly, I felt that if we restrained the area to which we would invite people, and then it would make it more easy to address these letters. So what we will probably be hearing from are people who are more advanced in their journey of self-discovery, in their journey for the seeking of truth, the realization of the self, the discovery of the God self within. And so this is the first letter starting like this. So I go over it. It says, I love you. I am with you, and you are with me in everything and in nothing. I am a wave in your ocean. My prayer is to merge completely in I-self. What it means, I-self? Well, it really means to merge in the I-source. The I-self means to merge in one's own source, which is there before beginnings and endings, meaning to come home to one's God self, one's original nature. And that is the prayer. that's been made by Mishko. My prayer is to merge completely in I-self and to get rid of arrogance and ignorance within this house. Mishko is referring to the body as the house. I live inside the house. I am not the house. I am dwelling inside the house. Help me to be free from arrogance and ignorance. Very good. Ignorance is a serpent that's bitten every living being. Ignorance means to be unaware of what we are, of who we are in truth. We call that ignorance. Arrogance means to believe in oneself, in one's ego, in the false self, to be proud of it, to identify very strongly with it, and to take that to be oneself. So Mishko is asking, I wish to be free from arrogance and ignorance, from ignorance and arrogance, you see, so that I might merge in my original nature. It's a beautiful prayer, and bless you that your prayer will be fulfilled. I want to speak a little bit more about that. Rid me of arrogance and ignorance within this house. Arrogance and ignorance comes from the false self, from false identity. And as long as we, in fact, the sense I within us originally did not mean person, did not represent a person or a personal self. The sense I represented consciousness. It is I consciousness am. The sense I am, I consciousness am. And I refer to this consciousness as the child of the Absolute sometime. You may call it the Christ consciousness or the Shiva being, the Krishna consciousness. We can use many words for it. You can call it just the active consciousness. That manifests in the body as the feeling I, and this I uses the body in order to taste experiencing through the senses and through the mind also. So, but somehow, not being the ultimate truth, it gives rise to the belief of I am this person. Actually, there is no real person inside the body. What is inside the body and what we are in our active or dynamic state is consciousness. Okay? So when we are not clear about our true nature, we believe ourselves to be the body-mind construct or conditioning, which we call the ego. So the prayer here is to be free of arrogance and ignorance, mean ignorance of my true self, and the arrogance of thinking I'm special and unique and I'm something special, and to merge, let myself be merged in my original nature, not be deluded by ego. So be it. Wonderful letter and request and prayer. Thank you. Let's try next one. Dear Mooji, our grandchildren, we took care of them for 5 years in our house. They live now with their parents. The parents are terrible, terrible. We have much pain in our hearts about this situation. We tried everything, Mooji. What is the best we can do for saving those children? Thank you and blessings, godparents. A very unusual letter, but one very much arising from somebody's heart. Again, dear Mooji, our grandchildren, we took care of them for 5 years in our own house. They now live with their parents, which obviously, I assume, is the children of the grandparents itself. Okay? The parents, who are the grandparents' children, the parents are terrible. Terrible. She emphasized twice. Terrible, or they emphasized twice. We have much pain in our heart about this situation. And obviously, it is clear that there is some disharmony there, some unhappiness is there. What to do about it, you see? We have tried everything. And Mooji, what is the best we can do for saving those children? You have already started by writing this letter. And naturally from my heart, I find myself already praying, willing for this situation, this environment to become more wholesome, healthy, harmonious, in the way that clearly the grandparents had this love for the children. We don't know why they were with grandparents in the first place. It happens, we know, in life. Sometimes the parents are not presently in a situation where they can cope, and they are fortunate enough to have their own mother and father that are willing to take care at least for their children, at least for some time. Now it's clear that you, the grandparents, enjoy having the children. You love them. You've done everything for them. But they have returned to their natural parents, to their immediate parents. And you say, these parents are terrible. I don't know in what way they are terrible. You say they are terrible, they're terrible. We have much pain in our hearts about this situation. Sometimes it is just like this in life. It can play like that the people that you care about, they themselves are now put in a very, very bad situation where they're sometimes abused. They are themselves unhappy and all of this, and you're watching and cannot do anything at all but just wish them well and pray, which is a good thing. And I naturally pray for them that the situation will heal. But I want to tell you something which may not be so easy for everybody to hear. Trust in God about this. We don't know by our own understanding why these things happen. I'll have to say that in my own case, so much of what I have gained or learned from life has come in a very painful way to myself. Suffering, hardship, painful ways, restricted, and I could give examples of this, of course, but you know, later I came to appreciate something. I appreciate so much because I've gone through these difficult times. And I've learned, I think the greatest lessons I've learned in life have come through painful experiences. Of course, you know, we would never ask for such things. If left to ourselves to ask for what we think is good for us, we would always choose the things that we enjoy. But God knows best. Sometimes we are given things that we will not enjoy immediately. They will be painful. They may even be intended to be painful, served by others. And as you can see, that even the parents themselves can be not good for their children on the surface. You know, they may not be capable of really being loving and kind and so on at the moment. But somehow in the greater picture, we pray that the children grow from this, as very often you know yourself that we often grow from difficult situations and challenges. I pray for these children that that will be the outcome. And I don't want to say by outcome, it could be for another few years they have to live like this. It touches my heart. I cannot bear to think of it. But today, I put a prayer in. May these children and their parents also, and grandparents, come to find a greater harmony that really serves their lives onward from here. That, you know, miracles happen every day. I see it myself. And I'm open to see it because you know what? The miracles are happening anyway. But if you don't notice them, they don't happen. That's as far as you are concerned. Experientially, you will not see it. But miracles of every kind, of various kinds, are happening every day. Every day. What is miraculous for you is when you get the eyes to see that and to appreciate that. Okay? So all the very best to you. Clearly, you are good people with a great love and compassion to, at the time of your life, when for many people at your age, whatever that may be, often it is at a time when you can begin to enjoy more independence, more freedom to do things. You gave that to your grandchildren. And at least you have given them 5 years, I think you mentioned, of your love and joy. And they will continue to benefit from your love and joy, even beyond your presence. What you have given those children with your love and your loving care, your compassion, your wisdom, is serving them even right now. So bless them, God bless you all. God bless their parents who clearly need a lot of blessing. Bless you all, and I wish the very best for you. Thank you very much. Dearest Mooji, in the depths of my own stillness, I have no fear of death, and so I have no fear of life either. How can I share this inner realization with family and friends who are panicked and consumed by anxiety and suffering during these moments? With much love, Laura. Again, dearest Mooji, in the depth of my own stillness, in the depth of my own stillness, I have no fear of death. When one is discovering or has discovered one's true nature, how fortunate, how blessed. You are discovering your true nature, not the ego nature, not the person's nature, but one's spiritual nature. And it is possible in life to discover your true nature. Laura is admitting, I have no fear of death, because she clearly sees what I am cannot die. That is not only a belief, that is a proof that only her heart and your heart can know once you have been graced to see this, either through your spiritual practice, through your faith in God, whatever, you have come to that certainty, that certitude, that what is, life cannot die. Death cannot live. Life cannot die. And also life takes care of life. You will discover this. And clearly, you see this is a letter from someone who is so much in their own spiritual journey of self-discovery. How can I share, though? How can I share this inner realization? The fact of myself. How can I share this inner realization with family and friends who are panicked and consumed by anxiety and suffering during these moments? Don't try to share it through words. Like, don't use those words. Don't tell them, look, you know, I have no fear and I've realized my true nature. We don't need to say that. The one who is awake to the truth, without doing any research on others, they instinctively, intuitively, spontaneously know how to relate with others who may not be at that level of self-realization. And this is also one of the ways in which we know that here is a mature being, you see. They are not going to demonstrate and to show off their spiritual knowledge, first of all. So like this, you are the same way. How can you share this inner realization with family and friends? First, by being your own natural self. And these friends who are panicked and family who are panicked and consumed by anxiety and suffering, where did the anxiety and suffering come from? Well, primarily from not being aware of one's true nature. When you are aware, I don't mean mentally aware, but spiritually aware. You are livingly aware of what is, that which is true and that which is untrue. You know what is permanent and what is temporary. When you know this, fear will leave you. You will accept all things as the natural unfolding in the natural world. And you will know that what is, what you truly are, cannot die. When you don't know this, and you take yourself only to be your body, mind, and personality, or person, and its conditioning, of course, it is not enough. Maybe it is enough to enjoy life to a certain extent, but it is not enough to win that peace of mind and real happiness that comes when you are discovering the truth of who you are. So you ask the question, how can I share this inner realization with family and friends who are panicked and consumed by anxiety and suffering during these moments? Which moments are you speaking about? Let's take it that you're speaking about this present time when the news about coronavirus and how many people are dying and becoming sick in different countries is sure to cause panic, stress, strain and worry and fear in the minds of people who have not spent much time reflecting upon their own lives and their own true nature. Now, this is not to blame. In fact, I will tell you that so many people around the world are not panicked. They are not in fear. They have concern, of course, and they have care and compassion, both for all who are sick and even for the possibility that they themselves might become sick. That is perfectly understandable. But don't get that mixed up with the need to be afraid. Fear comes when we feel lost. We feel, I don't know what to do. I don't know what is going to happen. But the truth is, for most people, they don't know what's going to happen. They don't. Most of us just think we know what is going to happen and take some kind of momentary comfort from that. The world presently is plunged into a collective sense of a crisis. People are afraid for their lives. They're afraid, what are we going to eat? What's going to happen? I have no money, my money is running out. All these things we can be concerned about. But I want to tell you, all that happens in the world, from the greatest to the smallest things, are somehow held in God consciousness. It is not that everything is just falling apart and, we don't know what's going to happen, the world is going to end and all of this type of thing. Surely coronavirus is a spreading. It's being arrested in some place, but it is for many people a very threatening phenomenon right now. And it is understandable at the level at which we are used to news and information that people will feel panicked, and all of the things that we are hearing about will continue for a while. But I am here to share with you that there's no need to be afraid. Nothing can happen contrary to the will of God, the Supreme. Now, you may not be a religious person or a spiritual-minded person or a believer. That is fine. But I have to state from my place of seeing, no? And my understanding that everything is fine. Whatever is destined to happen will happen. Whatever is destined not to happen will not happen. And no one can change that. What I would like you to change is your attitude towards all of this. Everything is good. As I said before, we have been living for a very long time with a certain stained, or I would say contaminated mindset. Our mental and human culture is contaminated with very many wrong ideas. Our judgments of each other, the fears that come, the judgments, the fears, the anxiety, the pressures, the stress, the over-concern, the hatred that is happening on the planet. And that is going on in regular life, dressed up to look like everything is fine. Everything is not fine. It has not been fine for a very long time. And so actually this present crisis, which is considered by so many people in the world as, oh, this is devastating. Actually the devastation started a long time ago. It's a devastation of our inner culture, of our opportunity to wake up to the truth of who we are. And the coming of coronavirus is quite a shock. It's quite a chance, actually, a shake-up to human beings, to wake up, shake up and wake up to the reality of what is being produced by our collective behavior and our collective ignorance. You see? It is not the punishment only, but it is as though life is releasing a certain amount of our karmic debt. And so we are experiencing a taste of how it really could become if it was really, really, really devastating. This warning wouldn't have come in this way. This warning has come for us to change. And you can say, but how? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Actually, change is already happening. Change is already happening as an outcome of the contamination that we have brought into our own human kingdom, and also the toxicness that we have pushed upon the earth itself, which is our physical mother, our mother in the sense that it takes care, it provides the food, it provides, the nature has provided so much to support human life. And we have not conducted ourselves well. We have abused Mother Earth in so many ways. But look what has happened since we have been confined to stay at home, confined to, in some way, give nature a break. We are seeing so many wonderful signs. The earth is recovering. The earth is recovering. Even confined as we are on our own land, we see so many wonderful things. We look up and see these beautiful ultramarine blue skies. The clouds look healthy and not contaminated where we are, at least we can say like that. The trees are flourishing. It's now spring here. The flowers are out, the animals are bouncing about, there are rabbits and around the place, butterflies. We're eating good organic food for those who are in search of that. Many things are, for me, they are celebrating life. They are the evidence of life, taking care of life. It is our turn also to detox from so many negative thoughts, so many negativity in our lives. And why? So that life can be refreshed, to press the refresh button again. So many things are going to change, and it's changing already, even for us, without having to get up and do and to change physically. We are compelled to change. And so I see this as also many wonderful things are going to come. Of course, many people will be in great sorrow because they would have lost some member of their family that they're not even able to attend the funeral and so on. Of course, I can understand the distress of that. None of us can say we are guaranteed to be safe in that respect. But I can guarantee that you as life are fine, and that it is possible and highly probable that if you pay attention to the many signs that you are becoming sensitized to, your life will already be improving. I wish you all good health and openness of heart and a great life now and a great life to come also here on this earth. Okay? But we must pay more attention to the way we treat each other, ourselves, and our planet also. To live with respect and with veneration to the Supreme Self. Thank you. I've spent quite a bit here to talk over this letter, but it triggered these kind of these thoughts in me. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. Dear Mooji, what words of comfort can you share with those of us living this moment in solitude all by ourselves? I have no partner and kids at this moment, a huge desire to start a family, and this experience is emerging in me a huge fear of loneliness. How would you would love to hear your advice. Much love, Ligia, Ligia, Ligia. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce it right. Okay, here we go. So again, what words of comfort can you share with those of us living this moment in solitude all by ourselves? Don't mislabel this opportunity and this experience. Living all by yourself at this moment, maybe you have never had the chance. I don't know how old you are. There are many, many people who have rarely spent any real time by themselves in their adult life. The life seems to be so demanding on our time and our attention that we were almost always, from waking up, our attention, our energies are pointed outward, externally, to things and people and doing and ideas and creativity and out. So this this very powerful confinement has its goodness and its rewards also. Take it like it's giving you an opportunity to contemplate a little bit.